I cannot blindly receive FDI.
The India-China relationship is back in the spotlight thanks to the border agreement. Just 24 hours ago, Prime Minister Modi met President Xi Jinping of China. It was their first bilateral meeting in 5 years. So there's a lot of curiosity on what happens next. Well, India is not eager for a complete reset in ties, it seems. India's finance minister has made that clear today. Nirmala Sitharaman says that she will not accept FDI deals blindly.
I cannot blindly receive FDI because I want money for investment, forgetful or unmindful of where it is coming from.
FDI is foreign direct investment, and India's FDI rules remain unchanged. Especially for Chinese companies, they'll still have to go through the same level of scrutiny as before. Of course, Sitharaman did not name China, but when you go through her statement, it becomes quite obvious. She was delivering a message to Chinese investors. In fact, I have a quote with me. We want business, we want investment, but we also need some safeguards because India is located in a neighborhood that is very, very sensitive. Now, why does India need these safeguards? To protect its national interest. Sitharaman stressed this repeatedly. And what does this mean for investors? Well, every investment proposal from India's neighbors will be carefully scrutinized. The finance minister says it is not just about who the investors are, it's also about where the money is coming from. Indian authorities will scrutinize all proposals. So if you're running a business in India, if you line up an investor from the neighborhood, you cannot simply take a check from them. You will need a clearance from the government of India first. That is the rule, and that is not changing anytime soon. Now, since July, there's been a lot of buzz around this subject. India has set an ambitious target this year. New Delhi is aiming for $100 billion in foreign direct investment. But where will this money come from? India could tap China as a potential source. That's the suggestion of V. Anant Nageswaran. He is India's chief economic advisor. In July, he recommended opening doors to Chinese money. Nageswaran believes that this would benefit India in two ways. One, Chinese FDI could help in boosting exports. And two, it could reduce India's trade deficit with China. Remember, despite the border tensions, China remains India's top trading partner. In 2023, India imported over $120 billion worth of goods from China. But when it comes to FDI, China is still lagging behind. Do you know what's the share of Chinese FDI in India? It is less than 1%, 0.37% to be precise. On the list of countries investing in India, China ranks at number 22. If this changes, if more Chinese investment comes into India, it could bridge the trade gap. More investment could also lead to fewer Chinese imports. So the idea makes economic sense. But you see, economy is just one of the factors in this relationship. There's a strategic dimension too, which is why India is not lifting all barriers. Even with respect to investments, there are security concerns. We are all aware of the predatory nature of Chinese investments. China uses investments to advance its national interest. It uses money as a tool to expand the influence of the Communist Party. Last month, S. Jaishankar spoke about this, India's external affairs minister. He said Chinese investments must be scrutinized. He also warned about the risk of Chinese investments in critical sectors like pharmaceuticals, telecom, and technology. And this is sound advice. The world's leading economies are using the same approach. Many of them have banned Chinese companies like Huawei from their telecom networks. The US has placed several curbs on investments as well. 3 industries in America cannot do business with China: advanced computing chips, quantum technology, and artificial intelligence. In the past, India too has banned hundreds of Chinese apps. It also quietly phased out Chinese equipment from critical networks. And there is no reason to reverse this policy. No economic argument is strong enough to justify it. Granting full freedom to Chinese investors would mean compromising on India's national security.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes. and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained, every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.